Welcome. We're here in the crane garage, and today we're working on a 1000 XP Ranger, and we're gonna do some bushings. These are the newer styled sealed bushings, and we're gonna go through just doing this one rear corner, and so you can see what it's like to change these out. All right. Okay. First off, we're just gonna start by we're going to start drilling these little rivets out so we can get the brake line off, so we can remove this upper A-arm. We can twist it so we can knock out the bushings. Just drill these out. Got that one. These are kind of hard to drill out, but you'll get moving, so you just gotta be careful, because these can grab a hold of the bit and twist and screw up your brake lines. You don't want to do that either. Got the last one here. We'll get some little screws, self-tapper screws that'll go back in it, or you can re-rivet it. I kind of angle the drill bit just a little bit so that it'll help keep from twisting the rivets so much. Through that rivet, just like that. Look at that one. There you go. Like that one. Yep. Make sure to get it through my head. I'm either gonna run this town or walk all over you. Might be in the way. We'll see. Might have to. Slip in underneath the sheet. Yep. Now we're where we can do something. Okay, this is my secret weapon for these things. Caps off. They're wore out. This one's been wearing into the cap and also wearing a little groove on the inside. So you don't want to let these go too long or you ruin your A-arms. But we're alright. We can. And then we want to shove that center pivot pin out. So what I do is there's a little lip on the inside of those bushings, or the bushing itself. You're catching just the edge of it. Knocking it out. Here, I'll go from this direction. You can kind of see what I'm doing, but the way it works slip. Okay, so I get a lot of my bushings for these from Super ATV for the Rangers. Although this particular model, you know, it has the standard smaller bushings, but some of these models went to 12mm bolts, and as far as I know, they don't offer a kit yet, so you have to purchase the bushings and everything through your Polaris dealer. Like I say, some of the rear suspension bushings, they're all different, so you just got to check your VIN in here and see what you got, because they got, you know, 10mm bolts, or some of the newer ones, well, 22 and up, they're 12mm. Always match up your bushings, you know, match up the new bushings you have with the old ones. Make sure that everything's the right length and the right size and, you know, comparable. Otherwise, you're gonna get partway through and realize, like, crap, you know. Anyway, just cut down on the redos. Okay, the next thing I do before I put my bushings in is I use a little bit of copper coat anti-seize, And what that does is that just aids in lubricating and keeping those bushings from seizing up later if you have to change them. But also it just aids in them going back in a little easier. Now I took those out with this punch that has an angle to it so that you can get in there. What I'm doing is I'm getting in there on the edge. There's a recess in there. You're getting in there on the edge of this and then shoving it out. So, but to reinstall them, I took this other punch or chisel and put an old, this was one of the larger 12mm bushings, but I use it to drive them in. And then to get them to seat back, because there's a recess in these things. I don't know if you can see it in there. We'll see. But there's a little recess. So you want to get this bushing shoved clear back to that recess. In order to do that, I'll actually put one of the old bushings on after I drive that in there, and then I'll set it with that. But anyway, rather than explaining, I'll just show you. Straight on it as best you can. Now, I don't think, well, I think we can get our gun in there. No, we can't quite. It's just not quite. One of our old pivot caps. With this, we can slide it down. And we can actually get the angle. We're going to try to get as square as we can on it. Now that one, where it's a smaller pivot cap, I can go ahead and recess it on in. Maybe I'll just do that with this one. We'll just... Okay, so what I like to use is a graphite CV boot grease. And what we're going to be doing, I can get this over here, is we're going to be putting just enough in here that we think will kind of coat the inside of this. Let's see here. And we're putting this in before we put our pivot pin in. And it doesn't take much, just a little bit, you know, like a large marble-sized daub of grease. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to shove it in with our finger and use our other finger to create a dam. And then basically we're trying to get the grease pushed into the middle there. And then coat those. And then that way, when our new pivot shaft goes in, there's going to be grease inside of there to help keep moisture out and hopefully make that bushing last longer. Now, from the factory, they come dry, and that's fine. You don't have to do this. I just like to do it. And
a dauber of grease on this one. Get that one on. Pushed in through both sides. I can feel it with my other pinky finger.
Put that one in there. Now, if they're hard to push in, you can just tap them with a little hammer, use your air gun, whatever. Try to tap it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little excess grease and just kind of lube up the O-rings. That way it helps get these started. Hammer. O-ring in. There we go. Now we've got that far, let's try to just get the bolts.
So give me a minute to catch my breath. Take what's yours, I'll take what's left.
And you hope that that grease is coming in there, and also need a little bit of grease, because the grease that protects the smoke from corrosion. Some of our environments, if you don't have grease or corrode up really bad. You can't get them out. You have to cut them out later. So, yeah. Brass hammer or a little rubber mallet. Careful. Okay, remember, there was a washer on the nut side. These outer ones were bad or not. I think it was just the inner. But I wasn't getting any movement out here. Everything felt good. I think these have been, yeah, we've changed these before because they're greased. So we already did those last time. Two back bolts out, and we'll just pivot that A-arm down because it's going to pivot off of the shock, and that way it'll still hold everything kind of where we need it to be. Pull it out and down, and then look at that. We can get to it. And if you want, you can even hook it up. Once you work here, you go up maybe to the bed. Sometimes the bushings are out so much there's no lift.
Life is good, life is good, yeah. Life is good, life is good, yeah. Yeah, in my darkest times, you got me feeling like.
Okay, so I drove one of those bushings in, and if you're in a tight spot, you can get that air handle in too. I actually took a C-clamp and modified it so that my bushings will slide on there, and you can actually C-clamp, and then I'll socket it like this so you can actually just use your little impact gun to run it through. Well, I'll show you how this works. It works pretty slick if you're in a tight area that you can't get into it. Just get it started. That worked really pretty slick. Anyway, but what I'm saying is you can make your own tools. You just gotta visualize it. If they don't, what's that red green says? If they don't find you handsome, they just might find you handy. Anyway, remember, torque these down at 40 foot-pounds when you're done, and it's just best to use a torque wrench. That way you know you're getting things tight enough. Oh, and I almost forgot. These are I'm kind of a hoarder, so I save a lot of these screws that I pull off of these machines, but these are little Torx self-tapping kind of a triangle. Anyway, I'll punch those little holes out, and these will just self-tap right in. I'll do one and show you here real quick. Okay, so there's still a little bit of a rivet left in those holes, so I just take this little sharp pointed awl and knock those little dudes out of there. Now it fell out. Self-tapper, shove him in there, get him back where he's supposed to go. Okay, now this is what I was talking about with the corrosion, and that's why I like to put a little anti-seize and grease in it, because these lower bolts where they're exposed to more moisture. Anyway, I'm gonna put a new bolt in there. I don't like that one. So. And also, I don't know if you can see it, but also check for damage. See where that actually wore into that bolt. Yeah, you don't want to reuse that stuff. Okay, don't forget, torque all your bolts with the 10mm to 40 foot-pounds. And while you have the anti-seize, you might as well protect your treads from corrosion just a little bit. Get a little bit more accurate torque on the wheel mesh too. Alright, thanks for watching on this endeavor here. Nice and solid, no movement now, and be good for quite a few miles. Anyway, be safe out there. Thanks for watching.